guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm at a secret undisclosed location because guess what? We have it. This is a 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro finished in this awesome army green that is exclusive to only TRD Pro vehicles. But let's talk a little bit of history about the 4Runner. The 4Runner is that on-body SUV that for many years has gone unchanged. Well, the good news is for 2020, besides this amazing army green color, there are some additions on the technology side of things, which I think will make this be even more of a hit. For the past few years, even though there hasn't been changes, sales have increased each and every year. And after driving this vehicle for a few days, I get it. I am slowly falling more and more in love, that to the point I almost want to move to Utah and have one of these and go through hell's revenge with it to really show the full capabilities of this 4Runner TRD Pro. One thing is for certain, this thing means off-road business and is gonna go directly toe-to-toe with your Jeep Wrangler Rubicons, with your Gladiator Rubicons, and anybody else that has something off-road worthy. The 4Runner is really gonna take the cake. So let's go ahead and dive into this 2020 4Runner TRD. Like I said, the army green fits it to a T. I love the wide front fascia, very aggressive. You can see the headlight design hasn't been changed, but still looking tough. You have the projector beam style headlight design. I do like the slight chrome that's inside of it. Helps make it pop with the army green. Now, if you thought I was gonna sit here and say this thing is 100% perfect, no. What's going on here? What's going on underneath there? We have fake vents. It would be nice if these were actually functional. Even if they were side air curtains, it would be a nice addition, but you do have your fog lamps. I like the bezel, all flat black. When we come across the large open grille area, I like what Toyota has done by taking the badging, making it silver now, or like a dark gray. You have your flat black grille design. Look how open it is. You could clearly see the radiator that's gonna help cool that V6 lurking behind it. Even this blacked out section, very, very tough looking. Now this is plastic, but one thing on the TRD Pros, you hear that? That's a 1/4 inch thick metal that's gonna help protect the inner bits. For 2020, they took the TRD logo, made it bright red. You can see the massive control arms and whatnot. This thing is built for rock crawling, for really off-roading. And unfortunately, living in Florida, the biggest thing we're gonna get is a speed bump. Now, up onto the hood, very distinctive lines. Here's another zonk. This thing looks so aggressive, but it's non-functional. You might as well use it as a pencil box because this hood scoop is non-functional. They could have made it functional and it would have just added to the whole capability of the vehicle, because trust me, when you're looking at those wheels, when you're looking at the suspension, this thing is fully functional and capable. What's going on here? That's why it's a zonk. As we come around the bend, I love the fender flares and I think it's so smart, all army green. Then we drop down and we're looking at our wheel and tire setup. This is a 17-inch forged aluminum wheel. So this is stronger than cast, specific to the TRD Pro. You got your TRD badging there, 4-piston caliper. When you're talking about wheel and tire setup, you're looking at 265 on the width, 70 series on the sidewall, and this is those Nito terrain grappler tires. That's gonna make sure that you grapple through those rocks, just like the Gracie family when it comes to martial arts and whatnot, MMA fighting. Lurking behind there, you'll notice a little bit of bright red. Those are TRD springs specific to the 4Runner. Also, it's a little hard to see, but there's Fox racing suspension at all 4 corners with the TRD springs. Gives you a magical recipe that's gonna mean that you're not getting stuck like everybody else. Even the lower control arms, I mean, they are thicker than Arnold Schwarzenegger's arms. That's the type of beefiness to this vehicle that's gonna make it go through just about anything. We have army green up top, little bit of flat black. I like the addition of the running boards, nice and wide to allow you to get in and out. Up top, we have the basket with crossbars and everything. This comes with the TRD Pro. I love the way it looks. and it makes the vehicle even more usable when you're going camping, when you're going off-roading, all those different types of activities. We keep working our way back, blacked out TRD badging, Pro badging on the rear quarter panel. You have, of course, that continuation of the flared fenders with the mud flaps. This thing looks like it's ready to go through a zombie apocalypse, really, and go looking for those Twinkies that I know that you guys love. When we come to the rear, the tail end of the business, traditional 4Runner. Now remember, 4Runner still has the rear glass that you could raise and lower. That is specific to the 4Runner. I like the low roof spoiler. Little bit of chrome in the taillight area. I wish they would have just blacked all this out. I think that would have just added to that whole uniqueness with the army green, because they went ahead and blacked out the TRD Pro labels, the emblems here. When we come around the bend, this is an all-new TRD exhaust. Great sounding exhaust, new for 2020. Of course, you're gonna get your tow capability. I also like the way they have the black across the bumper area to match the front, and you have the flat black here as you're pulling things in and out. It's not gonna scrape this beautiful army green, but why don't we go ahead, pop the hood, and see what's powering this TRD Pro. All right, guys, we got the hood popped, the hood struts holding her up. Underneath that engine cover, that is the only cover in the industry to have actually cup holders while you're servicing and working on your TRD Pro 4Runner. That is that tried and true 4-liter V6, 270 horsepower, 278 pound-feet of torque. What's wonderful, it's all mated still through that bulletproof 5-speed automatic transmission. Of course, this has full 4-wheel drive capability and is going to also give you electronic aids such as multi-terrain select and crawl control, which makes this extremely capable to where you will be pulling everybody else out. Now, MPGs, she's a little thirsty. In the city, you're looking about 16 miles per gallon, but why don't we go ahead, fire her up, and see what this 4Runner TRD Pro sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. I know you're probably saying, Joe, I'm just like you. I've fallen in love with this green beast, this army green machine. How much is it? This one is pretty much fully loaded to the hilt. You are looking at a price, MSRP of $51,000. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, door panels. I like what's going on with the door panel. It is a lot of dark material, but I think for those of you who are actually going to use this as an off-road machine, that's good because it's going to be easy to clean. You have the nice leatherette style material on the armrest, the red stitch work, even up top on the top portion of the door panel, nicely done. I like that pocket in the middle. It's like the perfect Twinkie size pocket area as you're going through the zombie apocalypse. Now, the dash is still hard as a rock that you could crawl over, but I do like the texture to it. And I like how far everything is pushed forward. You have this brushed aluminum finish here, which looks really nice. And then here's what's new for 2020 when it comes to technology. This is a new 8-inch infotainment system display. As you can see, it has navigation. We could go back home. It's all touchscreen, very fast reacting. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Amazon Alexa has you covered. This has the optional JBL sound system. Still has your old school Casio clock. I'm okay with it because it's easy to read, to be honest with you. I wish that it did not have this framed mirror. I wish that the auto dimming mirror was actually frameless. To me, that would just kind of clean it up. Also up top, here's your controls for rock crawl and the different terrain selection modes that you could go through. As we come back down, dual climate control. I think it was smart to use the same blue LED for the clock as they did for the dual climate. Buttons are easy to understand and use. Start, stop, new for 2020 in a 4Runner, tastefully placed. You got a cubby here for Tootsies. You got a cubby down here for your Jolly Ranchers, USB, and a 12 volt. This little guy right here is gonna allow you to go into 2 high, 4 low. One cup holder here, a little tiny tray for some breath mints, and then another cup holder conveniently placed here with another area where I put my garage door opener, but you could put your phone. What's a little confusing is the carbon fiber. This faux carbon fiber, there's a little too many textures. You have this nice metallic gloss black, which actually hides the fingerprints really well. You have this silver trim, silver on the knobs, and then carbon fiber. I wish that this was that aluminum trim. I think it would look a lot cleaner, but you do have heated seats. This is the switch to put the rear glass up and down. TRD shift knob on your automatic, and you're just gonna slide it through just like that. Nicely done. Decent padding on the armrest with the red stitching. We open it up and we have plenty of room in here. A 12 volt. You actually have a nice little divider where you could separate your Little Debbie snacks from your Hostess snacks. You can't put those two brands together. We close it up. Seats, love them. TRD embroidery, the red stitching. They're only heated, they're not ventilated, so that's gonna be a zonk. But other than that, they're ultra comfortable. And I also like the way that this one has the all-weather floor mats that are totally set up for the 4Runner TRD Pro. And you have your standard size sunroof up top as well. Why don't you come over behind the wheel, the business end? I wanna show you what's different for 2020. All right, guys, business end. You have your full electric assist here. I like the lower lumbar. That really feels good on your lower back as you're going off-road style. Steering wheel, great size, great thickness. I love the leather. I just wish that the stitching here was the red contrast stitching. The horn button's a little dated. These controls are a little dated, but if you notice, you do have Toyota's Sensing 2.0. So you got the lane keep assist, emergency braking, all works great. Also new for 2020 is that whole dash setup. You have a nice 4.2-inch digital display. You can toggle through all sorts of information there, which is very nice. I like to have the speedometer clear. You have your analog tach, analog speedometer, fuel gauge, and coolant gauge. Like I said, plenty of headroom, and this thing fits me to a T. I really, really want one of these. Let's go ahead though, check out the back seat and see how your passenger's gonna be loving the 4Runner TRD Pro. All right, guys, backseat time. Tons of room back here. You know, this thing has really just gone with the times and has all the space you can need. The seats are nice and comfortable. What I don't like, and I'm gonna zonk, are these netted pockets. You do get two, which is good. Rear AC is very simple. And then new for 2020, guess what? You got not only one, but two USB jacks down there. When it comes to armrest, very large. It's a little low, so you're gonna have to like lean down as you're going off-road, but you do have your placement for your two drinks. Lots of knee and leg room. I mean, that is easy as can be. Why don't we check out the cargo area and see how amazing it is in this 4Runner TRD Pro. All right, guys, time to check out how much room and space we have. You are gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Use your muscles in the back. Tons of space. I love what's going on here. You have two little trays where you could put little party snacks as you're tailgating. You got the seats will do the 60-40 split. And then when we come back over to the passenger side, you can see where we have our JBL subwoofer. You have a home power source and a 12 volt. And this one is actually optioned with something I've never seen before in a 4Runner, this sliding rear tray. So let's say you go to Costco, you got those big cases of 40 bottles of water, you could actually slide it out like this to help get it in and out. Or think about it, you're tailgating, you could bring this out a little bit so people aren't having to reach all the way in. I think this is a very, very smart tool. And I know if I was getting my TRD Pro, I would want this in there. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part of any Rady's Rise review. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this 4Runner TRD Pro for a spin. All right, guys, pulling away in the 2020 4Runner TRD Pro. I love the visibility in here. So great to look out over the hood. Even though the hood scoop is fake, from this angle, it looks amazing. I just wish it was functional. But the one thing for sure that the off-road suspension is gonna do for you on-road is just give you a great ride. I love the way this 4Runner rides. It drives so nicely, very, very planted, obviously. And what they've done with the interior, with the technology, was needed, and they did a great job with the infotainment system. Like I said, you got your navigation, real crisp, easy to access. It's quick. what else could you ask for? Now, I know some people want the 4Runner to be totally redesigned, and I get it. Toyota has been a little complacent with their lineup, but my question is, where are they gonna go with this? Because I don't want them to lose the character of this 4Runner. It's just so unique, and in this army green, it just, I don't know, it just has the look. It really has the look of the business, that's for sure. All right, guys, little acceleration test on throttle. The 5-speed drops down. Great sound coming from that TRD exhaust of the V6. And listen, for an SUV that's not really the most aerodynamic, it does have plenty of get up and go, I promise you that. And it makes sense that they didn't get rid of the 5-speed because it's working really, really well. May not give you the best MPGs. Remember, 16 in the city, 18 or 19 on the highway. Not the greatest return, but this is an off-road vehicle. It's not meant to hypermile like a Toyota Prius. Sitting here, I love all the fit and finish. You know that this vehicle is going to be reliable. You know that the resale value is ridiculous on these 4Runner TRD Pros. And then with the additions for 2020, they just knocked it out of the park. I think that if you want something so capable off-road wise that from the factory, this really is a great way to go. And it doesn't pay to buy one that's a couple years old, because you're still going to be paying a large part of the new price of it because they don't depreciate that much. Even on the highway, as we merge onto this highway, yes, you're going to get more road noise from those Nito grapplers, but still a very nice ride. And listen, if you wanted to use this as your daily driver, very capable, very comfortable, and would put a smile, I know, on my face if I had this as my daily driver every day. I think one of my favorite parts, like I said, is the visibility. It's really great in here. You get on throttle, it drops down that 5-speed, off and running. Very nice setup in here. And the great news is you don't have to, you know, go into different modes and this, that, and everything else. It's like you just get in, fire up, and off you're running. So that really is a nice touch with this 4Runner TRD Pro. And here we are doing 62 miles an hour, very smooth, very compliant. And you know, some people might say this is overkill for the road, but at the end of the day, listen, you could handle the zombie apocalypse, the end of the world, or you can handle that bumper to bumper traffic drive to work. And you're gonna be in something that's gonna get you there safe, and it's gonna hold its value like no other SUV really can. When it comes to handling, yes, there's definitely a lot of body roll and bounce to it, but that's to be expected with the way that the off-road suspension is, but still nothing that is gonna make you feel uncomfortable. I like the feedback to the steering. I wish the steering was just a little bit heavier, but other than that, really drives like a dream. I like the location of the rock crawl controls and everything, easy to get to, and just a great layout in this 4Runner TRD Pro. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel for what this vehicle is about. Hopefully in the future, fingers crossed, everybody, we will be on Rady's Rides in Moab or some other awesome location like that, doing some great off-roading. Before I forget, here is the key fob. That is gonna be a zonk from me. It feels like it's back from 1988. So I wish Toyota would do something cool with their key fobs. But other than that, this thing is as tough could be. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to our undisclosed location, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another wonderful day with this Army Green 2020 4Runner TRD Pro. I definitely gotta thank Corey and the rest of the crew at Toyota, not only for building an amazing vehicle, but for allowing me access to it for the week to be able to really understand the ins and outs. Is this a true off-road capable vehicle? 100% for sure. I wish we had the terrain here to really showcase how great it is. One of these days though, we're gonna do a Rady's Rise remote from Moab and Hell's Revenge in one of these 4Runner TRD Pros. But I definitely wanna thank everybody for supporting the channel. If you are new and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you've been a subscriber of Rady's Rides, thank you for your support and your love. If you want to keep seeing more of these off-road vehicles on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. Got to give a big, huge shout out to Big Guns McGee, Tom Motion, working that camera. If you want to help us keep making great content, Tom and I working it together, hit the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch, and just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.